watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together?
Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anne and this is Postcards from My Golden Years. I'm still sitting here among the furniture and stuff. So I thought I'd give you another update on where we are. I haven't done it in person, so I thought I'd take a break from sharing our video from our last trip to Nice and catch you up. So as you can see, we're still living with stuff. So a lot of the stuff that we are selling has been sold. Our tables are starting to thin out. I even have a totally empty one, but this one particular chest, we still have the chest. And I'm thinking I might want to move that to France. I just love this little chest. I used it for jewelry, and I think that I can use this for lingerie, and nobody seems to want to buy it. I purposely priced it on the high side, maybe subliminally, because I just don't want to sell it. I hate to have to take a piece of furniture with us to France because I know it's going to be expensive to ship it. But I don't want to have to go chasing around, find it again, and it'll give me an instant place to put all my jewels and my underwear and lingerie type stuff. So where are we? Let's see. The last time that we caught you up to date, it was Jeff and I, and we were talking about things that we learned when we went to France. Some of you have been asking how we ended up buying that international health policy. We went through a company called Mondesor, and initially we were trying to buy their gold package, which included pre-existing conditions and a whole bunch of things, and they had quoted us a price for that policy, and then they asked for medical information, and we submitted our medical information, and I guess about a week later, it was supposed to take 48 hours, but a week later, the representative from France called me on the phone, and she said, I just wanted to let you know that on your policy, there is going to be 123% surcharge. And I said, but it's already $2,200 and now there's 123% surcharge? She couldn't explain why. She said that we had to contact the doctor who was reviewing the paperwork to find out what made the price jump. So, and my husband also had a surcharge on his, I think it was 15 or 20%. No explanation. We simply got revised quotes saying this is how much this one's going to cost, this is how much this policy is going to cost. And frankly, we didn't want to have to pay that much. So the woman on the phone had said to me, if you contact them, maybe they will tell you what things you can take off the policy as far as expecting them to cover pre-existing conditions, and then maybe you can get that price closer to the 2,200. We're talking euros, by the way, not dollars, euros. So I said, fine, and I sent a letter from both of us to the doctor who was evaluating our medications and pre-existing conditions, and never got an answer. This day, that was maybe 2.5 weeks ago. Never got an answer. I've written a couple times. So I contacted the representative that I do business with from Mondosur, and I asked her, I said, why aren't they responding? Now, the woman is an American, and she said, it sounds terrible for me to have to say this, but I don't think that they have the same customer service acumen that, we're used to in the United States. And she said they may or may not get back to you. They may feel that to cover what you already said you have, this is what it's going to cost, and they don't feel any further explanation is necessary. And she said, I can't answer for them, and I apologize that nobody's returning your call. So at that, I was discouraged, and I went back online. Now, we had already gotten quotes from some other insurance companies. Adrian's company had recommended that we check out someone else, and I checked out those people. And in the end, I ended up going back to Mondosur because one of the other companies that I had checked out quoted me prices for a Mondosur policy that didn't cover pre-existing conditions. And so I contacted the rep, and I ended up buying the cheapest Mondosur policy that was cheaper than every quote that I had gotten for any policy that didn't cover pre-existing conditions. And then about a day later, I got a response from a totally new insurance company that I had requested a quote from. And that person showed me a policy from Mondosur that the Mondosur representative had not shown me. And it had more coverage, and that representative said to me, the plan that you're thinking about buying from Mondosur, not all of the offices in the U.S. are approving that. And I said, but it has all of the minimal coverage. And he said, I don't know why, but we've heard that a couple of the offices where you go to bring your papers, your certifications for visa approval, that that particular policy from Mondosur is not being accepted for everybody, and he didn't know why. And I contacted the Mondosur rep because I was dealing directly with Mondosur, and she said that yes, there were two offices, one in New York and one in Miami this summer, that had a problem with the plan that we had purchased, that least expensive plan. And I said, listen, I don't want to go and apply for our visa in a few weeks. Well, we've already applied, but I don't want to go to the in-person meeting and bring a certificate for a policy only to find out 2 weeks later they don't like that policy. So she went back and talked to the head of Mondosur and said, look, these people bought the cheapest policy. They're concerned. They don't want to take the risk of having a policy that's going to get rejected. So he approved for her to put this enhanced policy up on the Mondosur website for availability. And basically what it gives you is, instead of giving you up to 30,000 euros in hospitalization coverage, it gives you up to 100,000 euros. The reality is, according to the representative, hospitalization in France very, 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 very rarely ever even goes over 30,000. But a lot of people, they want that feeling, that level of comfort, knowing that they've got 100,000, God forbid something terrible happens. Now, the problem with these policies are they don't cover pre-existing conditions. Jeff and I, honestly, we don't have pre-existing conditions that are like life-threatening situations, so we're not sure what they didn't like. Most of the things, I'm guessing they don't like covering pre-existing postmenopausal things where women are taking bioidentical hormones, because I still haven't found a resource for those over in France. So maybe they didn't want to cover whatever it was going to cost to get them to me. They knew I had to report that I am taking a drug for prediabetes. Maybe they didn't want to cover that just in case it becomes full-blown diabetes. I have no idea. So the bottom line is we ended up going with Mondesor. We canceled the first policy, the very cheapest. We repurchased the, I think it's called Europe Access Enhanced. So we purchased that one. It's got more than enough to get us through the visa approval process, and then we will just do whatever we need to do to get on the France health plan as fast as we can once we get over there. Of course, you know, it's going to take the 90 days, and we have to make sure we go to the necessary appointments and then go on the website to register for our health plan, health insurance in France. So, you know, fingers crossed. Nothing will happen in those 90 days, first 90 days, and that's where we are. And I really don't want to give out the prices for the Europe Access Enhanced, other than to suffice to say, you know, it was maybe an additional, I think it was an additional 300 or 400 euros a month. So there you have it. Now, I always want to remind everybody, we're not experts. Jeff and I are not experts at becoming expats from the U.S. You know, we're finding our way in a dark world from square one. I go out there on the internet, I look for information. How do you do this? I figure out how to do it, and I do it. I tend to be one of those people, I can do this myself, I don't need help, I don't want anybody to help me, I don't need anybody to hold my hand. There have been a few occasions when I have actually had to get help on figuring things out. So, you know, please don't take the information from me as this is the gospel, this is the only way to do it. You can go on the Mondesor website, and I'll put it in the video below, and you just click there and you request a quote, and they have you put in your name and your age and the period of time you need the coverage. So it's 1 year's worth of coverage that you need. And then as soon as you click on it, then the quote pops up in your email. So, I mean, it's that simple, can't get any harder. And so that's the insurance. So the next thing is we did apply for our visas online. We did that at the beginning of the month. And that was a really simple process, the online part. Easier than I thought it was going to be. I will take you to the website, to the starting page of the website, to show you how to get to the place where you put in your own information. And you're going to have to do your own because everybody's application is going to be different. I mean, we are applying to move to France forever, to retire to France, and we have no intention of working, and we are over the age of 65. So our application is going to say those kinds of things, basically. When you go to the website and you put in your information, obviously, if you're over 65 and you're going to be retiring from the United States to France and you're an American citizen, your first page may look exactly like ours, but then when you click the button to move on, you're going to have to put your own information in and take it from there. Okay, very first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to this website, france-visas.gouv.fr/en/. The EN, by the way, stands for English because that's your primary language. All right, so you are on this page, and if you want to, you can do this little check sheet. It says, do you need a visa? And you will put in your nationality, which is, did I pass it? Here we go, American. And then you put in your age, and we're using mine for the moment. Are you married to a French national? No. Are you joining family members from the EU? Blah, blah, blah. No. Okay, place of submission. This is where you are making out your application for visa. No, not Uzbekistan. Sorry, I goofed on that one. United States of America. So that's what you need to put there. Visa type, long stay, because that, after all, is what you're looking for. Main destination of stay is going to be France. And here we go, travel document, ordinary passport, and then click search. Okay, so now it brings you to this page. Do I need a visa? Now, I happen to have my applications already in, so it's reminding me. It says I need a long stay visa, and these are the requirements. All right, so why are we making this trip? We select visitor. I know we don't really plan to just be a visitor. We are retiring there, but there is no option for retirement. So you have to select visitor. Main purpose of stay, and you simply say visitor adult. And that's it. And then you click search. Okay, and then it tells you what supporting documents you're going to need. So, going to require a travel document, that would be your passport, containing at least 2 pages with a period of validity at least 3 months longer than the date on which you intend to leave the Schengen area, which is all of the EU is in that Schengen area. Or in the case of a long stay, at least 3 months longer than the expiration date of the visa requested. So we're requesting a visa in our particular case that begins in April. So my visa, both of our visas, have to be valid for at least another 3 months beyond that. So look at your visa. I mean, I'm cutting it close. I think my visa expires like 4 days after the 1 year date. My hope is that the date of the visa, let's say we go for our appointment this month and they send us a visa at the end of February, then that means 12 months from when they send me the visa, it's going to expire, and I have more than enough months left on my passport. Okay, you're going to need an ID, photograph, and I'm only going to talk about the things that refer to American citizens going over to retire. Purpose of our stay, obviously we're going to be retiring, so if you have pensions, you need to have your pension certificates nearby. In our case, we don't have pensions, but we have our Social Security statement, so we need to have that. We need to have documentation to prove we have enough resources to cover all of our expenses for that 1 year period. And so again, it's going to be the Social Security statement, or pension certificate if you have pensions as well. And the last item, our last 3 bank statements. So we're going to gather up the last 3 bank statements for all of the bank accounts we have. Not that we have a ton of them, but there are a few. And even though we're applying as a couple and our bank accounts may be joint, each of us needs to have 3 copies of the bank statements. So if you're doing this for a couple, make sure you print out 6 copies plus at least 1 or 2 to hang on to just in case you need more. And We're printing out, I guess, 3 copies of everything for each of us to take along. So remember, this is per person, even if it means you're duplicating the same things. As long as your names are both on that same bank account, you need to have copies for each of you, because each of you has a separate application. Each of you will have a separate appointment. Okay, proof of accommodation or tenancy agreement, or proof that accommodation will be provided by someone residing in France. If you don't have a place to live, book an Airbnb for the period of your visa. Some people have said that if you go to the appointment and you show that you've got like 90 days or 6 months, and then you explain to them that while you're there, you're going to be traveling around trying to decide where to live. Most people I've heard from who have done that, their visas have gone through without a problem. We are going to have the appropriate documentation proving that we've got a place to live. And then, of course, you need the travel health insurance. And then there's the cost of the visa, which is going to be $109 or 99 euros. Now, they say about 109 because, the currency exchange rate changes. So on the date that they published this website, it was about $109. Tomorrow it could be 111, or it could be $97, who knows. But anyway, that's what you're going to need. Then you click on Submit Online Application, and it takes you to this place here. If you've never been here to this site before to do your application, the very first thing you need to do is click on Create an Account. And it will open up this page right here. And you fill in your information just like this. And you want to do it in English, so you're going to click on English. You create a password. And you click Create an Account. And then they will send your email a link that you need to click on from your email, validating your email. And then once you get that, to confirm your email address, then you can come back here and click on Log into my account. And then you will complete this information and log in. And then the application form is very easy to complete. It was far easier than I thought it was going to be. So what Jeff and I did is we went into our guest room where we've already taken all the pictures off the walls, stood in front of a white wall, and we took pictures of each other using this as a guide. So they're very strict about it. Pictures have to be exactly as they are specified on this form. And you need to print them out on photo paper. So you're going to need multiple copies of it printed on photo quality paper. Now, when you get to the very end of the process online, and it's not a very long process at all, believe me, it was so short, I was like shocked and amazed that this is it. So you get all the way through this process. I didn't have to upload any forms. I just had to put in information. You get to a page where you're about ready to submit your application. And before you can do that, it says something to the effect of, I have made my appointment for an in-person interview. So before you can click submit, you have to go to another page, and I'll show you where to go to locate the office that's closest to you. And then you have to go there and you have to make the appointment. And you have to say, when you make the appointment online, you have to say that you have completed your application online. So it's sort of like, even though you haven't sent it yet, you have to tell the appointment location that you already completed your application. And so then you make your appointment. Okay, so to make your appointment, you are going to go to the VFSglobal.com website. VFS is the agency where you go wherever you are in the United States to book an appointment for your in-person interview. So you're not going directly to the French embassy or to a consulate. You're going to VFS Global, who I guess is a subcontractor that works in conjunction with the Embassy of France. So you will go to this website, and it's visa.vfs/USA/EN/FRA/interim. Now, bear in mind, this office does appointments for visas for other countries besides France. So you need to make sure you go to the right address so you're not booking an appointment for an in-person interview to go to Spain or someplace else. So you get to this website, and here you go. It says clearly before you book an appointment, you must fill a visa application form online on the official French website, French Visas. So we're assuming by this point you've done that. You've now opened another browser to open this page, and it gives you several options here. If you've not yet filled the application form, you click there. For our use right now, we're not going to go there because we've already filled the application, and you will have by the time you get to this page. So it says if you've already filled the France Visas application form, click here. So you have an option. You need further assistance to prepare your visa application. That's optional. And let's assume you've already done everything. You don't need more assistance. So now you click, I accept book an appointment now. The first thing you're going to do is click on I don't have an account, and you're going to complete the application to open an account with VFS Global. And then you'll come back here and sign in. And then, okay, once you get in, you'll get to a page like this. It says choose your visa application center. So you're going to scroll down to whatever city you're going to go to, and these are the only cities where they have offices. So you may have to get on a plane and go to the nearest one. So, for example, we selected Miami, and then you will scroll down, choose your appointment category. So we're going to go for a long stay visa. So you'll click there, and then you'll put in your information. It'll take you to a page here. You'll get the France visa registration number on your form on the other browser where your application was. You're going to have a registration number. So you'll enter that, and you'll complete all of this other information, click save, and then it will take you to a page of appointments. I don't want to go there because I don't want to screw up any appointments we already have scheduled. Okay, and that's it. So after you make your appointment, then you go back to the other page. So you're going to have two browsers open. One is the one with the appointments, and you make your appointment, and the other one's going to be that application that you completed. And then once you have the appointment and you print out your confirmation or save it in your email, then go back to that original application. You click the box that says, I have made my appointment, and then you click submit, and then that's it. Nothing happens. You get an email saying that your application has been received. And so then you just make plans to go to your appointment. So our appointment is, I guess, in about 2 weeks. And we're kind of excited, right? Kind of. That's an understatement. We're very excited. So now I'm gathering information. Oh, I forgot to mention, when you submit your application online, you get a little message that pops up, and it gives you a list of the documents that they want you to bring to the in-person interview. It doesn't go into a great deal of detail on how to satisfy those things. So it gives you suggestions. So I had found a list online of the documentation we need in more detail. I mean, they give you general terms, and I guess if you just want to take the general terms and throw those forms in a folder or something, that might be good. I tend to like to overdo. I'd rather go there with more information than they're asking for, just in case. So, I mean, for example, they want, on the form, the online application, it asked for any other names that I used prior to my existing name. So, you know, I've been married 3 times, so I had a maiden name, 2 prior married names, and of course my current name. So they did not say that I should bring marriage licenses and divorce decrees for each of those prior marriages, but I got them, and I'm going to make copies of them, and I'm going to bring them just in case they say, well, how did you get from your maiden name to your current name? Because my marriage license, which I'm bringing, shows that my last prior name was not my maiden name. And I thought, okay, this will be confusing for them, so I'm just going to bring a sequence of documents. And if they ask for them, fine. If they don't, I just take it all home. So I went on Amazon yesterday and I bought this portfolio. I bought one for Jeff and one for me. He's probably not going to need to use all these folders, and probably I won't either. And I'm making lots of copies of our documents. People who have already gone through the process, the in-person interview, said they brought 3 copies of everything. I don't know why, but I'm going to bring 3 copies of everything. And what else did I buy? I also bought, I bought a bunch of blue file folders so that we can label them, so that if there are different categories, you know, I can put our Social Security form, I can put bank account statements, I can maybe categorize the bank account statements, investment statements. Basically, you have to prove that you can support yourself in France, and they suggest bank account statements. So again, I'm going to bring 3 copies of the last 3 months' statements from every single bank that we do business with, including our new French bank. So let's see what else. I went and got the piece of paper. It's like a supporting documentation. And basically, I printed this out, and they're looking for a travel document containing at least 2 blank pages, so that would be like our passports. It has to be valid for at least 3 months longer than the expiration date of the visa requested. And let's see, you need to bring photographs. And so we made and printed out on photo paper those photographs. So in our folder, we'll have the photographs. There's got to be, now if you're retired, you need to bring a pension certificate. So that would be our Social Security statement. We need to each do a letter that says we promise not to exercise any professional activity in France. And, you know, if we were going to be getting or doing business in France, we would have to, or if we were going to be employed by somebody, we would have to have other documentation, but that doesn't apply to us. So that's why I say, you know, this is just what we're going to be required. Here we go. Proof of enough resources to cover all expenses, pension certificate, or at least 3 bank statements. So we have that. you need to bring proof of accommodation and the tenancy agreement. So like we have a letter from a person who is hosting us for the initial stay when we arrive in France, if in fact we haven't found a place to live. And we also have to have the certificate that's issued by the insurance company. Now this, based on what this says, the very cheapest policy that we purchased initially from Mondeser would have qualified, because it says it's looking for the policy covering any possible cost for medical repatriation and emergency or hospital treatment for a minimum amount of $30,000 valid in France for the whole stay. Well, this says actually for a minimum amount of $30,000, that cheapest policy said to a max. So I'm glad that we changed our policy to one that goes up to 100,000 euros. And then we need to bring our application fee, which is 99 euros or $109 based on today's exchange rate. So your letter is going to be different probably, because your application is going to be different. So you need to do it for you. You need to also do the research for you. Don't take my word for everything. By all means, go to the website, because the information I'm giving you on where to go to file your application, that's not going to change for anybody. Everybody goes to that same website. If you're a United States citizen, you go there to start your process for your online application. And after that, it all has to do with who you are and what you're all about. So now let's see what else. People have been asking, do we have an apartment yet? No, we don't have an apartment yet. And the good news is the wonderful staff at Adrian Leeds is starting to do our search. We've been in touch with a consultant. She knows what we're looking for, and she started to send things over for us to take a look at. And, you know, we're hoping, fingers crossed, that we find something by the time we get to Nice. But if we don't, we are wholly prepared to rent an Airbnb for, you know, a month, 2 months, whatever it takes. We don't want to just grab anything just to have a place. And we've even been talking recently, if they find a place that we really like, the possibility of me grabbing a plane to Nice, like the next day, before we actually sign the papers or sign the lease. Even though we've given Adrian Lee's company power of attorney, Jeff feels that maybe I should, you know, get on a plane and just go make sure I'm going to be happy. He said he'll be happy with everything. Not so much. But he did say, and it is true, that I'm the fussy one, that everything has to be just right for me. So I'm not 100% sure I'm going to just hop on a plane and go look at something. I don't even know if there's going to be time given, because there is such a shortage of apartments. If we find somebody that wants to rent to us, and, you know, they make the decision, if we find somebody that wants to rent to us and there are a lot of other people after that same place, we may have to grab it real fast. And if we're not happy within 30 days, we just give notice and leave. I would hate to have to do that, but, you know, we'll play it by ear. So I think that is everything I wanted to share with you in this video. I believe in my next video, I'm going to take you on our little day trip to Menton, which was a cute little town outside of Nice, a quick, short train ride away. So, and that's the benefit of living in Nice. You just go to the train station and, you know, in 15, 20 minutes, you can be in Italy for that matter. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. As always, I love to get your comments. Just comment below. If you're not a subscriber, just click below, subscribe, and please give me that thumbs up, because it lets YouTube know that you enjoyed my YouTube video and that maybe they should show it to other people. Maybe other people would like it, and it helps me build my subscriber base And after all, that's one of my goals. So I will see you next time. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.